to express our disappointment with what we saw yesterday and with what we have read in the papers and with what we have heard on national news that the deputy president of this country was humiliated in the scale in which he was humiliated. That the whole country was forced to watch news of humiliation visited on the second in command of this country. And that should concern everybody. That when we talk of the first in command, when we talk of, for example, Uhuru Kenyatta, we are not talking about Uhuru Kenyatta the person. We are talking about Uhuru Kenyatta the president and the aspirations of the whole country. When we also talk of the deputy president, you don't look at the deputy president as a person, just like that. You look at the deputy president as a leader who has risen through the ranks to be the second in command through a majority suffrage, through an election. He has been able to inspire the country to the extent that he has risen to be the second in command, voted for by the people of Kenya. Not once, not twice, but thrice. Even when the Supreme Court of Kenya nullified the election, the people of Kenya still woke up and voted for a ticket that clearly had William Samoei Ruto as number 2. So when you visit humiliation to that kind of a leader, you are actually inviting a huge political moment to the country. And I don't know whether those who plan this kind of humiliation really understand what it means to have a country and what it means to ensure that a country lives in political tranquility. Because this kind of recklessness, this kind of carelessness is something that can easily plunge the country into unnecessary chaos. And that's why we are calling this press conference to actually once more, and we will not tire, from Baringo County Assembly, from Baringo County, and from the people of Baringo, we will not tire to tell this country that this country belongs to all of us, and our voices will always be part of the conversation of this country. That 2 or 3 people who today feel they are very powerful can sit down, caucus in a corner, caucus in a boardroom, and decide that, oh, you know, the deputy president cannot fly out, so and so can fly out, so and so can fly in, so and so cannot fly out. No, this country belongs to all of us, my friends. And apart from William Ruto being the deputy president of this country, even us, all of us, the elected leaders of this country, we are still citizens with the constitutional safeguards to enjoy fundamental rights of a citizen. We are human beings. William Ruto is a human being. We are human beings, guided by the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, which allows human beings to interact across the globe, which allows human beings to travel, the freedom of travel, to associate with fellow human beings, wherever they may be, except the prisoners and slaves. Free people, free human beings, enjoy the provision, the Universal Declaration of the United Nations to travel everywhere, to travel all over the world. And I want to thank Justin Muturi, the Speaker of the National Assembly, because yesterday he rose above pettiness, he rose above gerrymandering, and he actually realized that there's a difference when when members of parliament are exercising their rights as private citizens, as individuals, and when they are enjoying those rights in official capacities. So what was so difficult with understanding that with William Ruto? So today, William Ruto, for example, we saw his daughter being married now to Nigeria. So William Ruto today, if for example something happens, he needs to go to Nigeria to actually visit his daughter. So he needs to be cleared by Joseph Kenya. Seriously? That is the kind of a country you now want us to have. So that now Joseph Kenya, he expects that William Ruto will be going there to kneel down to him, to clear him, to go and visit our relatives in Uganda, in Siebe, in Uganda. So our brothers and sisters in Uganda, William Ruto can now cross the border to see his cousins or to even see his investments, if there are any investments in Uganda. Really? That is the country that you want us to be proud of. So we condemn what happened. We will continue reminding you. When you brought PPI to Baringo County Assembly, we rejected it. When the High Court vindicated us, we celebrated it. You tear cast us here in the Assembly hoping that our voice will go down. It will not go down. You tear cast us when we celebrated PPI victory by the High Court, hoping that our voices will go down. It will not go down. We will continue reminding you, Matiang'i, Kenya, Tuchu, Kipruto, Murate, we will continue reminding you every minute, every moment that this country belongs to all of us. And that you may scare, you may hope to use intimidation, you may hope to use humiliation, you may hope to use blackmail, but we will tell you that we will stand out in the face of all the plans and evil schemes that you are planning. We will continue to stand out. So that is our item number one. Number two, President William Ruto, wherever he is, to be strong. Be strong. What happened to you yesterday did not happen to you as a person. And they don't realize, you know, the problem with the schemers here, don't realize that this country is at the verge of a revolution, which they don't understand. That is why when you see Tuju making fun of a fundamental discussion as bottom-up approach, it's because he doesn't understand. How do you really expect Tuju to understand who enjoys our money, millions and millions of money, that we are giving out as elected members of Jubilee? He sits down, writes letters, walks up in the morning, he has billions and billions of money. How does he understand how a Mamamboka goes through today? I wish Tuju was in Kiaba, where I was. A revolution is happening in this country, and we want to tell the deputy president, it is really not about you. It is about millions and millions of Kenyans that you have inspired, and people like Tuju who are living on their sunset years politically may not understand. And we are told, by the way, in all revolutions that happened, whether it is the French Revolution, whether it is the American Revolution, whether it is the independence in this country, the powers that be those days, you know, didn't see it coming. They didn't see the revolution coming. Even the Roman Empire revolution, even when Jesus Christ himself was in this world and telling them that he is the Son of God, the emperor, that the powers that be that time, even Herod, when Moses was telling him that God had sent him, they didn't see it. You know, when Pharaoh was told that God has spoken, they made fun of the message of God that time. So this country is under a verge of a revolution. And by the way, it's not about tribal. It's not about because William Ruto is Kalenjin or Ndindi Nyoro is this. No, there's a unifying revolution, hustler revolution in this country. And I want to tell Kipruto and Matiang'i, you better watch. Take time and watch from the comfort of your sons. Finally, is to the people of this country. We want to plead with hustlers all over this nation. Be calm. Be peaceful. We are suspecting an attempt to foment crisis, an attempt to foment mass protestations, an attempt to foment a civil strife or an uprising. I want to urge hustlers wherever they are, as William Ruto put it yesterday, tunamwachia Mungu, we want to ask you to be calm. Let's not fall into the trap of the evil schemers. Let us not fall into the trap of evil schemers. Let us not organize any demonstration anywhere. Let us be firm. Let us remain in our houses, and we will not fall into the trap of these evil schemers. The idea is you want to create a crisis like the one that we saw in South Africa, that Jacob Zuma was arrested. So now people demonstrate. We are more cleverer than that, my friends. We are more cleverer than that. We can see the scheme way back, way ahead. We can see your schemes way ahead. And I even don't understand, why are these guys forgetting that William Ruto today and Uhuru Kenyatta are beneficiaries of such an evil scheme? Because when Raila Odinga and other schemers felt that, let us have William Ruto go to ICC, with Uhuru Kenyatta go to ICC, so that I become president. Kenyans were clever. They saw that this is a scheme of some cowards who do not want to campaign and who do not want to go for serious elections and those kind of things. So we are coming back with another scheme again, which is not going anywhere. So we want to plead with our people that with the hustlers all over the country, be peaceful, be calm. This is a storm in a teacup. This is a storm in a teacup. It's passing. And we can see the light at the end of the tunnel.